Cody Williams looks like a potential lottery pick, and he will soon join his brother Jalen Williams in the NBA. This is Floor and Ceiling. Let's break him down. My sell on Cody Williams is based on his mix of length, size, ball handling, feel, and touch. At this point of his development, I think this is all most visible in transition. Williams is a wing, but Colorado trusts him to bring the ball up and attack the rim. And so far, Cody has done that really well this season. More than half of his shots come at the basket, and the Buffalo's freshman is converting at a 74% clip. That is really impressive, and even more so when you consider that he's creating most of these looks for himself. At 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, Williams has nice positional size for an NBA wing, and he has plenty of skill to go along with these tools. The 19-year-old is a capable ball handler in the open court who uses his sweeping strides very well out of Euro steps or long changes of direction. And even though Cody needs to add to his 190-pound frame, he plays physical enough, and he gets to the free throw line a solid amount already. As we'll dive into, Williams does have some athletic limitations, but I've been very impressed by how he offsets those with his handle and touch. Some of what I'm talking about has also shown up in the half court. This is encouraging to me since it shows that Williams has real functionality to his driving game. He isn't just always taking advantage of defenses that are not set. Cody can finish from tough angles as well as over length, as we've been seeing. And because his handle is better than most wings, he's constantly creating advantages on the floor. This take is a great example. Williams gets slightly bumped away from the paint, but he comes up with the unblockable, feathery finish regardless. As we'll get into, Cody's burst is a bit limiting, but he knows how to use a screen as well. Here, it's get action as Williams throws and goes off of the handoff. He goes inside on the screen and into the paint with his long steps and gets fouled. Still though, Williams is at best a good vertical athlete at this stage of his development. He's more reliant on coordination and balance than pop and twitch, and since he's almost always looking to attack the basket, this can pose some problems. Cody has a purposeful handle, he doesn't overcomplicate things, which I like, and he almost always makes the right decision, but it's also not that dynamic when it comes to creating space in cramped settings. Williams cannot tap into an extra gear, so he can struggle to turn the corner or beat defenders off the dribble consistently. Add that to how his 190-pound frame must get stronger, and it's likely that NBA defenders will pose real issues for him off the dribble, at least at first. But overall though, I'm not very discouraged. I think Williams understands how and when he has to throw in a change of direction or speed, and he's bound to get stronger as well as have additional development to his handle. Once this happens, Williams will be able to play through contact more comfortably and get lower to the ground, so he'll be able to get to his spots much better. From there, I think he's already shown that he can finish, and as I mentioned earlier, I cannot say enough about his touch, which is my biggest takeaway from Cody's hot start to his freshman season. Even now, when he cannot beat his man off the bounce, he can always turn to his right hand for an answer. Williams has a really soft hook shot, and although this is not something that he should turn to every time, he already mixes it in well. It's definitely encouraging, I think, that he has this in his toolbox, and down the line, it makes a lot of sense as well to punish mismatches. We haven't seen as much of a floater, but we've seen glimpses, and I expect that to gradually come along also. As I've been saying since the top of the video, I'm a big fan of Williams' feel for the game. His stats are not mind-blowing, don't get me wrong. As of this video, he has 14 assists to 14 turnovers, but for me, it's more so about his decision-making process. Here, Cody cannot explode past his man, but watch how he collapses the defense still. Richmond's number 9 comes over to help on the big, and as soon as that happens, Williams generates the wide open 3. Against Milwaukee, Cody cuts across the paint, 2 defenders go to him, and he's aware of the miscommunication that happens to find his big, and this leads to free throws. In this clip, a potential assist is left on the table. Williams runs the pick and roll, the roll man gets tagged, and he uses that to make the skip pass, which in the NBA most likely leads to a 3-pointer. In general, what I appreciate the most about Cody is that he's always playing with his head up, and even though his flashes might not be flashy, he makes the right reads, he almost never makes a bad decision, and he's capable of finding the open man quite quickly. He's one of those prospects who's a connected facilitator, and teams will be able to trust him to move the ball smartly. We can see that here. Williams instantly recognizes off the inbound that the defense did not get back, so he throws the full court pass for the easy dunk. As for improvements, Cody's manipulation still has to grow. Like here, he could be more deceptive instead of instantly hitting the strong side. Right now, Williams is smart, but he's not clever, if that makes sense, but that's not a huge deal for a 19-year-old wing. And also, most of his turnovers are not a result of bad reads. It's more so Williams' athleticism, which prevents him from getting the step on defenders off the dribble or driving past the help. His awareness of how the floor is spaced and where each defender is positioned can still improve, but this should not cause huge worry. Getting into Cody's shooting, the signs are positive, broadly speaking, but we are dealing with a small sample size. As of this video, he's at 60% from 3, but on only 10 attempts all season. Every triple is a spot-up look for Williams, and he has not shown that he can create his own shot from distance like he can at the basket. Still, his shot looks repeatable and compact from the legs up. He's balanced as he rises into his jumper, and to me, his footwork looks good. In the big picture, I trust the Colorado wing long term, but it's just that he needs to shoot more threes. As of now, they only make up about 16% of his total shot diet. Down the line, Williams has the means to be effective attacking closeouts. His handle, length, and touch that we saw earlier will all come into play in these situations, and I think defenses will respect his 3-pointer as long as he's actually taking those shots. Some of the flashes that we've already seen are very appealing. Like with his 3-point shot, I'm also going to be hoping for more volume from the mid-range as Williams' season carries on. Similarly, his percentages are good. 45% of his 2-point jumpers have gone in, but he's only taken 20 of these shots. This clip here shows exactly what I want to see, with Williams getting the screen and pulling up instead of attacking a crowded paint. However, I also want to see more aggression. Like here in the future, he would ideally be able to bump and then rise on balance into a little fall away once he gets stronger. Once he's in the NBA, I'm also curious to see whether teams will use Cody more as a cutter or in those types of situations. For instance, OKC with his brother Jalen has their guards screen and roll quite often, which is something that I think Williams could do with his size and touch. But for the most part, up to this point, we've only seen him on the ball as a freshman at Colorado. On defense, I think Cody Williams will be fine. He doesn't really stand out in this area, but he's smart enough, and his length and height give him a solid margin for recovery. Even though Cody lacks pop, he's still 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. Generally, he stays in plays and he's alert, so that's good enough for a Colorado team that holds up pretty well on defense. What might stand out to me the most is how Williams recovers using his length. Like here versus Florida State, he's on the back foot, but he can get back into the picture by pushing off his front foot and making himself huge. Or in this clip, he does very well to navigate the screen, and he offers an awesome contest, which leads to the miss. I like how Cody gets around screens on defense, particularly whenever he's matched up against smaller ball handlers, which Colorado has not shied away from. Now, I don't think he's some incredible multi-positional defender, but he can hold his own against college guards, and in the future, I think he'll be able to check some NBA guards. And then on wings, he has the positional size that you want and decent enough instincts on the ball. Away from the play, we haven't seen as much, but I think Williams might have some potential offering help side rim protection. However, this might just be me reading into very small flashes. After all, over his first 7 games, Williams only has 2 blocks. His questions on defense are similar to those down the other end. They're mostly centered around his athleticism, which can be a little lacking. His strength falls into this category, as Cody can still get pushed around relatively easily. Williams also does not move great laterally when he's out in space or whenever he has to change directions on a whim. He has a high center of gravity and he struggles a bit to get low to the ground and then suddenly explode back up. That's why I said that he's fine against NCAA guards, but against NBA guards, you can probably expect more difficulty. But as I've been saying, I expect Williams to get stronger in the NBA. And I don't think he's a bad athlete, especially given how well he reads the game. There's a few things I want to see more of, particularly his self-creation off the dribble as a shooter, as well as his volume from 3, but it's tough for me to not really like Cody Williams. He's a wing-sized player who can handle the ball and execute decisions quickly and maturely. He attacks the rim with real intent and touch, and I think he'll even get better in this department. And I think his defense is projectable enough, although his production hopefully will increase. I love that intersection of tools and feel, so right now I have Cody as a surefire lottery pick in the 2024 NBA Draft. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a comment telling me what you think of Cody Williams, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, if you want to watch more content like this, make sure to subscribe. Take care, Happy New Year, and I'll catch you guys next time.